Hey, how you doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And today, we got an unboxing. And as you can see, I got my linchpin out. This is my first purchase from White Mountain Knives. White Mountain Knives. My first purchase. And yes, this is the clue to what's inside. It's one that I put off for a while, and I wanted to get, and I said, you know, I'm going to hold off and wait, because there's other ones I wanted to get first, and then I was going to get it again. Then the cold steel stuff happened, and I sort of dedicate my time to make sure I got all the cold steels I wanted. But anyway, now I got I pretty much have all the cold steels I want. There's a couple new ones out there I'm still waiting on. And the Tau War, the Holdout. That's pretty much getting close to being it. And, oh, the oil bun too. I want to get an oil bun. But that's going to be pretty much the end of my cold steels. And I might get the, what do you call it? The Magnum, the 12-inch Magnum. The XII. In 3V. I might get that one. And that'll probably be pretty much the end of what I get for the cold steels. The rest of them I'm not really all that interested in. Except, and the range, was it called the Range Boss? I'm going to get one of those too. Just to complete my collection of that, the Mustang style, handled style. But anyway, let's get busy. My first purchase from White Mountain Knives. Doing the honors today is my linchpin, CRKT linchpin. Absolutely love the linchpin. I love the linchpin, the seismic, and you all know I love my Clever Girl. This has German corrupt stainless steel, 4116 stainless steel. And so does the seismic. Got everything. Uh-oh. Getting stuff all over the place here. I got popcorn. CRKT, Columbia River Knife and Tool. There's a model number in the model, made in Taiwan. It's a CRKT Trask, 5375 Trask, product of Taiwan. Okay, let's take a look at it. Let's see how this opens. Close this back up. I absolutely love the deadbolts. There's the knife. Ah, center perfect. Love Them Knives got one. I always like to watch Love Them Knives. I like to watch his videos. And he got one of these. And that's what sort of made me put off on it, because it sounded like the craftsmanship in these wasn't that great. This one's perfect. Maybe Love Them Knives just got a bad one. But the blade center in it is equally spaced in between the liners. It looks really nice. It's spaced perfectly. The pocket clip, they don't have the recessed screw heads, but the screw heads are sort of flat. I would call that a semi-deep carry pocket clips, not all the way deep carry. And I wonder if they got black pocket clips for these, because I would like to have a black pocket clip. This one I like. I like the size of this. This is one of the knives that would fall into, for me, as a everyday carry for work, like a utility knife. And I think that's what it's going to be, because I could tell already I really like it. And I like how they made the what do you call it, the deadbolt lock. They made it smaller, so it's not as big looking, or the button's not as big. Rather, it's like more like a regular sized button. Set this aside, and you can see what I'm talking about compared to. That's the only thing I do not like about it. It doesn't have a flipper. I wish it had a flipper. But it's still a really, this looks like a great EDC knife. This is an Ox design. I think his name is Eric Ox. OCHS. Absolutely love it. The weight of it feels perfect in hand. And this is a perfect size blade for a utility knife, for everyday care, for me anyway. My hand totally fits on the handle perfectly. It's not like a little tiny handle. I absolutely love it. I love the girth of it too. It reminds me of like the old American lawman with the Oz 8 blades that had the thicker handle scales. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced any of those before. The newer ones have a real thin handle scale. The older ones had a thick G10 handle scale. That's what this feels like. And I used to always think those felt perfect in my hand. This one feels perfect in my hand. And the GRN, the glass reinforced nylon, it looks like carbon fiber. It's really classy looking. It doesn't look cheap at all. It's a beautiful looking knife. It's a beautiful looking little knife. I like the way they anodized the aluminum ring around the deadbolt button. That looks nice. And they anodized the aluminum backspacer. And they polished the stainless steel liners on the exterior portion. Looks like they're polished on the inside too. And it's lightened up on the inside. Stainless steel liners. You want stainless steel liners with a deadbolt. You don't want aluminum liners or something like that. You want stainless steel. Now I like the way it doesn't have the exposed stop. It's got internal stop pins for the blade. I think you could probably see that. I really like this knife. It's a beautiful knife. See, and this one has the external stop pin. And it stops it closing and opening. And this is the Flavio Kuma design. He's the one that designed the deadbolt and the IKBS ball bearing system for CRKT. And this is his knife design. It looks a lot like, this one looks a lot like a Flavio knife too, but it's not. It's an Eric Oaks. Because if somebody didn't tell me that was a Oaks, it says Oaks on the blade. It says Oaks design, Trask TM Oaks design. But if somebody didn't tell me that, and I didn't know that, if it wasn't marked on the blade, I would think this is a Flavio knife because it looks like a Flavio knife, Flavio Kuma knife. It's really comfortable, just like Flavio. Flavio pretty much makes the same knife. It's really comfortable, but he puts a flipper on his. I like that. I just wish this one was D2. But you know, 4116 is cool too, though. But it'd be nicer if it was a D2 or a S35VN or even S30V or something. That'd be cool too. Or the CPM 154. That'd be nice too. It's an awesome design. And these locks on the Clever Girl, which is a knife that's not as stout as this one. The Clever Girl. This one is not as stout as. They both got the same blade stock, but the Clever Girl is more of a cutter. This one's got a heavier duty blade type. This one is designed to. This will make a great hunting knife. It's a hollow ground blade, Persian style blade. Absolutely love it. with the flipper, so your finger's protected, even though you don't have to worry about that because of the deadbolt. This knife held up 580 pounds, going up against a cold steel SR1. I think it was an SR1. I'm not sure if it was an SR1 Lite or if it was a regular SR1. But the SR1, I know that. The SR1 beat it because it kept on going. But 580 pounds of dead weight is a lot of weight. And the way that and they had to break the knife in order to make it not work. It's an absolutely awesome knife. Absolutely love deadbolts. To me, a deadbolt knife, you know, as y'all know, I'm a big Triad fan. I love the Triad. But to me, the deadbolt is a real competitor to the Triad. To me, you know, I would still say the Triad is number one, but deadbolt's like right behind it, number two. And maybe in some knives it might even be stronger. You know, I've never seen cold steel go up against the but I forget what it's called. But there's a Flavio knife that's the top of the line for the deadbolts that CRKT offers. It's like a $700 knife. I've never seen anything go up against that. Now that would be interesting. See something go, take the best cold steel, take like a 4-max and let it go up against that one. See what happens. That'd be an awesome challenge. But I absolutely love deadbolt knives, and this one is a little lightweight deadbolt knife. The detent's probably real stiff on it. The detent can be adjusted by this little screw right here. They're usually like a T6, a little T6 screw right in here. And you can adjust your detent. And that's how these are all adjusted to the way I like them. But see, it's adjusted to the point where it won't flick out. Because you don't want it to flick out, not where I live anyway, because they can call it a switchblade. So you do want some detent, but you don't want to get carried away with the detent. Like this one's been tinned too. So you can't flick it out. It'll drop. Now these don't drop, even though these have the ball bearings, they don't drop like a regular ball bearing knife does, because the way the detent's set up, it's always got pressure on it. So, like this one's really stiff. Let's loosen this one up a little bit. Let's see if we can make it adjust so you can see how it adjusts. All right, the first screwdriver I grabbed was a T6. That rarely happens. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. Okay, here we go. First adjustment. Now on these also, I always like to open them up. You get a little bit drop there. This one's never been lubed either. There we go. That looks pretty good right there. Then after I lube it, it'll be perfect. Oh, see, that's a little bit too loose. I was able to flick it out. Tighten it up a little bit. Okay, that's better right there. Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there. Let's take it apart real quick. So I can go ahead and lube it up. Y'all can see what I do when I lube up things. I think it's a T8. There we go. I got that one pretty quick too. Okay, let's see here what we got going here. CRKT told me that, I talked to CRKT about these locks, and he told me that they perform best when you put lithium grease on the deadbolt slide. So that's what we're going to do right now. Now right here, you take out this screw and you can remove the blade. We're not going to do that. I just want to put lithium grease on the deadbolt. It's got a conical spring. That's the type of spring that you'll never have to worry about breaking. So it's a very durable knife. Very easy to maintain and clean. Alright. That's all you really have to do is put some grease on the deadbolt. I'll put a drop of grease in between here so the bearings can get a little bit, I mean not a drop of grease, a drop of oil in there. So, and I always like to put some grease on my fingers, go like this, and just put it on the spring. I think I'm just not doing it because it needs to be lubed or anything. I'm doing it because it protects the spring. It puts like a protective coating on the spring. So if ever any moisture or anything gets in the knife, it won't mess up the spring. Just a little something I do. Okay, put a little drop of oil in it. That work down into the IKBS ball bearing system. You let them get lubed up a little bit. Now I like to put a little oil. This is a D2 blade, so it can rust. So you always want to keep a little bit of oil on it, keep it lubricated, treat it like it's a carbon blade. It is technically it is a carbon blade, but D2 is like borderline stainless. It doesn't rust easy, but it will rust. So I would recommend always keeping it lubricated. And what I mean by lubricated, I just put a nice film of oil on it, and you let it sit on there for about a minute or two, then you wipe it off. And you just wipe it off. Now my knife's ready for work. This is the first time I ever held this knife or worked with it. So, you know, it's a matter of me getting used to it too. Next time you see me with this thing, I'll be an expert with this knife. I absolutely love this knife. And I had forgotten all about CRKT until the deadbolt came out. And I found out about the deadbolt. And once I found out about the deadbolt, I think it was from Mad Headbanger, one of you guys. told me about the deadbolt knives and how strong they were, and that was before they had the test. So nobody really knew for sure how strong they were, but everybody was assuming that this type of knife would be really strong, and it was. Everybody was right. Absolutely love these. And then after these, I got into the Brian Ty knives. But other than that, I'm not really a big fan of CRKT. You know, some of the first knives I owned that were tactical type knives were CRKTs. I think I had the M16. And that was before they had the lock safety on them. It was the original ones. And I carried that for a long time. I ended up giving it to a buddy of mine. And he carried it forever. He might still be carrying it. But I had the one that had the quillions or whatever you call the finger guards on the blade. And it was all blacked out. Partially serrated. Tonto blade. It was a pretty cool little knife. But then when I got cut with that liner lock knife, my Benchmade AFCK, that turned me off to the liner lock. So I even though I never had a problem with my CRKT, I saw all the CRKTs I had were liner locks, and so I sold them all. Got rid of all of them. I absolutely love this knife. Okay, let's read the specs on it really quick. I printed out the specs for everybody. Okay, here we go. Weight 4.4 ounces. Overall length 7.75 inches. Closed length 4.43 inches. Blade length 3.33 inches. Blade finish satin. Blade steel D2 tool steel. Blade shape drop point. Blade thickness 0.13 inches. Serration type plain. Handle color black. Handle material glass reinforced nylon GRN. Pocket clip yes. Number of blades 1. Assisted opening no. Locking mechanism deadbolt. Flavio Kuma deadbolt. Opening method thumb slot. It also has Flavio Kuma's IKBS ball bearing system in it too. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love this one. I gotta find me a black pocket clip though. Gotta find a black pocket clip. Other than that, it's perfect for me. I like the thick liners. It's very well made. I like the blue aluminum back spacer. I like the blue aluminum anodized ring around the button. I like the way the handles look. And I'm not even a fan of GRN, but I like this one. It looks nice. It doesn't look cheap. It looks like a quality knife. This looks like a premium knife. It doesn't look like a little cheap knife. It looks like a high quality knife. And you know what? It is. It's got a thick D2 blade with a deadbolt lock. And this blade shape will cut. It looks saber ground. Doesn't look like it's hollow ground to me. It looks like a saber ground blade. A high saber. The front finger choil is very comfortable too. This handle is very comfortable. This is gonna be a knife I carry a lot. This will be one of my favorites. I like D2 steel also. And this one's sitting there so perfect. So love them knives. You must have got a bad one. This one's perfect. Yes, I will get another. This one's going in the drawer, in my drawer for this year, and I will get another to collect because I really like this one. I really like it. This is my first one. This is, to me, this makes a great pocket knife. This is what I would call a great pocket knife. Yes, it can be a self-defense knife and everything else like that, but this is like the American Lawman to me. It's a great pocket knife. The American Lawman is like one of my favorite all-time pocket knives of all time. And This is a lot like the American Lawman to me. Feels a lot like the blades are like the same size. And one thing I sort of like better than American Lawman, it doesn't have any thumb stud in the way of your cutting. I like the way the sharpening choil is. I mean, it's a well-made knife. It's very thought out. It's a nice thick blade stock. 3.4 millimeter blade stock. 3.384, I think it is to be exact. Rounded out, be 3.4 millimeters. That's plenty thick for a knife this size. I would even consider it to be like a heavy duty knife for this size. The type of knife that I like. I don't like wimpy knives. I like knives that can do whatever you need them to do whenever you need them to do whatever you need them to do. I like knives that can handle anything. And this is a knife that falls in that category. Now, do I like it better than my Kiku? No. I like my Kiku more. But this is a great knife. But this would be easier to carry than the Kiku, though. Because the Kiku's what? I can't remember what it was. I want to say it's like close to 6 ounces. Can't remember what my Kiku weighed. Hold on. Okay. Let's find out what the Kiku weighs. 5.9 ounces. I knew it was like 6 ounces. 5.9 ounces. 4.4, just like they advertise. So this is over an ounce lighter, and this feels a lot lighter than the Kiku. Oh yeah. But look at the blade stocks. They're not really all that much different. Kiku has a 3.8 millimeter. This has a 3.4 millimeter. But the Kiku still has the thickest liners. I love my Kiku. But this video is not about the Kiku. This is about the new kid on the block. And I love it. I love it. This could be a gentleman's folder. It could be a construction worker's folder. It could be a law enforcement person's folder. It could be Joe Blow walking down the streets folder. It could be anybody's folder. This is a great all-round knife that I would recommend to anybody because it's going to be strong and sturdy. It's got good blade steel, D2 blade steel. Absolutely love it. It's very high quality. No wobble, no up and down, no nothing. It feels like a fixed blade. This is a very nicely made knife. All right, now I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling now. Absolutely love this one, people. I'm going to put this out tonight. Today is April 27th, I think it is. Tuesday, April 27th. The day I got my Trask. Well, actually, I got the Trask yesterday, but today we did the video on it. We did the unboxing and the video. I love this one. I love this one. White Mountain Knives. This is my first purchase from White Mountain Knives. And I guarantee you, I'll be going back to White Mountain Knives to get another one. I really like it. Got to have one for the collection. Now, I always see people doing the finger flick or whatever. I'm not that good at that. Or maybe this one needs to be tuned a little bit better or something. Or broken in. Oh, I got it that time. Almost. There we go. I don't know, a little practice, maybe I'll get it. I think it's just easier to use a thumb stud. I mean, I use the opener. But yeah, this is a great pocket knife. This would be a great everyday carry pocket knife for somebody who really just wants a knife for utility purposes and cutting chores. But if need be, this could also be a great self-defense weapon too. With that Flavio Kuma deadbolt lock, you don't have to worry about this blade falling back on your hand or the slot breaking on you. This is like once this is in an open position, so very similar to, it's not a fixed blade, but it's very similar one. It's about as close as you can get. You know, this and a triad lock, you know, triad locks and deadbolt locks is about as close as you're going to get to having a folding fixed blade. Excellent, excellent knife. Excellent design. I highly recommend it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's well done. There's nothing about this knife I don't like, other than it's not a flipper. If it had a flipper, it'd be perfect. A flipper and it was DLC coated. All blacked out. Y'all know how I am. That's why I like this one. It's all blacked out the way I like. I love these. Alright, well that's it for today, people. Peace out. Hope everybody's doing fine. Peace. Stiletto.